The new Volvo XC60 is shocking the entire car industry. Today we will reveal all of the car's features, as well as the one controversial new feature that could make or break the deal for you. Let's get right into it. The XC60 is the middle child of the Volvo SUV lineup. It is more spacious and family-friendly than the XC40, but smaller and less upscale than the XC90. It is located squarely in the midst of the mid-size crossover market's most congested and competitive sector. Whatever the competition, though, the Volvo XC60 easily has enough of the Swedish automaker's reliable safety, understated elegance, and alternative luxury to set itself apart. It isn't deterred by any of the BS surrounding off-roaders that purport to be lifestyle vehicles. It also doesn't pretend to be an athlete capable of outrunning the track. So naturally, the XC60 has some fierce competitors. The BMW X3, Audi Q5, and Mercedes-Benz GLC are all great vehicles that are going head-to-head with the Volvo. Is the XC60 really capable of outperforming those amazing vehicles? Something is not quite right here. The XC60 has been around for a while already, hasn't it? Yes, this is the XC60's second generation. The first was introduced in 2008 and was in production for a full 9 years. It was Volvo's best-selling vehicle, so it seems sensible that they'd be hesitant to remove it from the market. Even though the XC60's current iteration has been around since 2017, other automakers might be considering calling it quits at this point. Instead, it still seems modern and timeless. With the second generation of the XC60, Volvo worked to preserve the elements that customers found appealing while strengthening some of the weaker ones. As a result, it received better suspension, fancier technology, and more of the kinds of safety measures that Volvo customers find so comforting. This is something its competitors have not been able to achieve. But what about the engines? Here's where Volvo's simplicity takes over. A plug-in hybrid setup with 2 levels of power from the petrol engine and a 14.7 kilowatt-hour battery is good enough for an official EV range of 47 miles. But you can also choose 2.0-liter diesel numbers with 48 volts mild hybrid tech to try to save some money. The diesel has 194 horsepower, which makes the vehicle rather slow, but it still manages to get 39 miles per gallon. The T6 PHEV configuration produces 345 horsepower and is slightly faster, while the more energetic T8 produces 449 horsepower and can go from 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds. Both PHEVs can get 217 miles per gallon, but this is a worthless number because if the battery runs out while you're driving, you'll likely get less than 30 miles. This brings us to the next concern. Is the XC60 comfortable to drive? The XC60 is like having your cake and eating it too, with interior style and luxurious materials that resemble more pricier Volvos. The calm, cozy cabin also has spaces big enough for adults in both rows. The XC60's interior has a very Scandinavian feel thanks to its sleek lines and high-quality materials, which is to be expected from a contemporary Volvo. In our tests, the XC60's decent cargo hauling capacity places it in the middle of its competitors. With its rear seats folding, we were able to transport 20 of our carry-on luggage. However, there is not much storage, and the one cargo area bin is one of the tiniest ones we've ever measured. But what is the technology like? A 9.0-inch touchscreen infotainment panel that runs Volvo's most recent Google-based software interface is standard on all XC60 variants. The system features voice commands through the Google Assistant and a number of customizable choices. The software interface is responsive, although it takes some getting accustomed to because of its menus. Bluetooth connectivity, an onboard Wi-Fi hotspot powered by a 4G LTE internet connection, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto are all included as standard features. But is it safe? The XC60 is a prime example of Volvo's dedication to safety, with lane keeping assistance and automatic emergency braking coming standard on all vehicles. Important safety elements include automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection, lane departure warning with lane keeping assistant, and adaptive cruise control with a semi-autonomous driving mode. So what's the final call? We love modern Volvos, and the XC60 is no different. It distills the majority of the desirable features from the larger 90 series vehicles and SUVs into a more manageable form. Both the excellent, tranquil cabin and most of the driving is enjoyable. It does things differently than BMW, Mercedes, and Audi, and for that reason, it is all the better. We'd contend that it's also a lot cooler, less aggressive-looking SUV to skulk around in. Although it isn't the most affordable or the sportiest SUV, it is perhaps the most socially acceptable.